Hi, I'm Sydney Polk, and I'm here to talk to you about the hidden truth. Does anybody here like pie? Apple, cherry, pumpkin, even key lime? Whether you like pie or not, imagine you're at a restaurant. You finished your meal and still have room left for dessert. You order a pie, or for my non-pie people, ice cream. They bring out this delicious dessert, just stunning. Although little did you know, that pie or ice cream you have has been in the back for months. It looked and smelled disgusting. Although the staff put some sauce and toppings to make it look all pretty to you. Now, would you rather accept what you see in front of you or hear the truth? This type of situation happens a lot with government, schools, social media, and obviously food chains. The situation of do I settle for what I hear and what I'm told to look at, or do I push for the truth? This question has developed over the years. It was a huge topic, though, in 1776. The phrase 1776 was the year America was founded, was finally stated. Although when you search that online, it shows only the events of that year, expressing how 1776 was the year that shaped America. Now, I like hearing the truth, so I'm going to make sure you hear the truth. I do believe that America was founded in 1776, but 1619 is what sculpted America. The events of 1619 and further on is what shaped it. 1776 just did the finishing touches. Now let me explain. 1619 marks the inception of the most important political development in American history, the rise of democracy and the emergence of what would in time become one of the nation's greatest challenges, the abrasiveness of racial stereotypes that continue to affect our society today. If you want to understand the brutality of American capitalism, you have to start on the plantation. This quote was stated by Matthew Desmond, a man who strongly believes that 1619 should be the start of the American narrative, which I completely agree with. 1776 can be the center of the narrative. It can be the climax. As long as 1619 is the beginning, the rising, the start of our story. This reminds me of Rosa Parks. Before you're confused, please let me explain. When you think of Rosa Parks, most people only think of her for sitting on the front of the bus, which is great, although that is just the climax of her story. But that doesn't mean you should ignore her rising. If you discover her whole story, you will find out she sought justice for Recy Taylor, was the mother of the Civil Rights Movement, and finally did a lot of work with Martin Luther King Jr. There is more than what Google will show you. Also reminds me of my grandmother another way. My grandmother, when she was in her 20s, she was the first Black woman in her job, which was hard for her at first until she felt the truth from her fellow employees. They would tell her that because she's Black, she won't get respect. She will never make as much money as them. People will never hear her out because of her skin color. They basically tortured her for just how she looked. Now, most people, when they hear that, it takes an effect on them. It makes them feel bad about themselves or makes them realize maybe they're right. My grandmother is not like most people. She realized that they did not sugarcoat anything for her. They told her the hard truth. And that hard truth helped her become the vice president of that company. It taught her, one, to be a better person at her job, to push for what's right, to make statements, to make sure society knows the full truth behind products, and etc. And the second, it taught her about herself. It taught her to never sugarcoat anything. How you can't live a lie about life. You can't do things knowing that there is a hard truth out there. For example, imagine you want to go swimming with your friends at a lake. Would you rather just accept that you're swimming in a lake or know that that lake has feces in it? My grandmother didn't want to live life that way. She wanted to hear the full truth. She told me that working in an environment like that made her the person she is today. It made her learn that life isn't always what it seems. And it also made her learn that just because she was the only Black person didn't mean it looked like she wasn't good enough. It showed her that she can be better than what society thinks, which is exactly what the internet wants you to hear. They sugarcoat They sugarcoat everything. They sugarcoated that 1776 was the year we woke up one day and was like, we need independence, which is wrong. We have thought that for years, and that thought originated in 1619. Now, I don't sugarcoat, and like I proved in the beginning, a little powdered sugar doesn't cover the truth. Now that you know how I feel about 1776, let me ask you, are you ready to accept life that way? You going to take the pie or stand up and make your own? Deal or no deal? We live with this question every day in our life. Some are serious situations like, do I have an illness? Do I not? Am I injured? Should I go to the hospital? Or should I just stay at home and rest? While others are simple, like, is my mattress dirty? Should I clean this shirt? Are there bugs in my house? Are you going to take that step to find the truth or take the safe route and accept what you know? Like it shows in history, life, movies, TV shows, etc. Remember, there is no going back as soon as you know the truth.